Welcome back to another game of Transport Fever 2 with Jason at CasualT Gaming. We pick up in our map here with a new set of trains that became available at the end of the last episode. Specifically some train cars, some cargo cars that were able to now travel at 75 miles an hour. So let's go ahead and start looking through our let's go ahead and look through some of our trains and see where we're at. Let's go on with you, Mr. Train. Waiting for a free path. Oh, and the game is starting to bug out on me a little bit in terms of performance. Yeah, no, I built this at the end of the last episode knowing that it wasn't going to be connected yet. What seems to be the problem? Corpus Christi, waiting for a free path. Let's see if it's going to get started anytime soon. What free path are we waiting for? We're both held up here. Are we waiting for somebody all the way down here? We are waiting for somebody all the way down there, and that is my fault for not putting in the signals. Oh boy, that's bad. And we want to put a wait here, and leaving the station will have priority. Same for leaving the station over there. So let's go ahead and build out our signal infrastructure along this route. And yeah, that actually frees up that train right away. I hate that. Sometimes you don't even notice things like that and they become a big bugaboo for you. Train 5, passenger train, is in very bad condition. For a very poor condition. Okay, let's go ahead and upgrade this thing. It's actually running an SCH class, which is one of our older, slower trains. We'll go ahead and upgrade it to an S class, and the S class can do 71. But I think we're gonna stick with the Suburban for now as the train of choice on this line. Okay. We are going to focus on cargo trains, specifically this first one, now that it's at the Gilbert Exchange. And this time waiting for a free path I know is going to be fairly short. Let's manage this vehicle. Let's get it up to 75 mile an hour speeds. So we are using flat car with side stakes. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of that because it's at 108 capacity right now. Right? Yes. So we can do that with only 6. And we can up it to 53 miles an hour from 50, which is an improvement. I'm not saying it's a great improvement, but it's an improvement. And that's because I think we're already running the FD for the extra hauling power. But I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and swap it out for an SU and get this thing hopefully up to 71 miles an hour. And so let's go ahead and watch this train run and see if it ever gets up to 71, because it's going to have the ability to do that on this very long haul. Well, it's picking up speed pretty quick. So the answer is no, I don't see it getting up to 71, mostly because it's just not powerful enough of a train. I mean, it might eventually get there if the route was long enough, but for now, we'll go ahead and hang on to this train as it is, because 60-something miles an hour is still faster than that 53 that we were doing before. Well, and here we go. We're up to 69, 70, 71. There we go. So that train maxed out its speed for a little bit, before I had to do that little S-turn into the station. And if it's dropping off the full load of 108, yeah, we should make a pretty tidy profit on that. Alright, so I'm happy we made that change. We're not going to look at the trams. Let's focus on our trains. Let's look at this train here. What are we able to do with it? It is a 50 mile an hour top speed because of those cars. What if we were to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? We still have 50 mile an hour top speed. What engine is this? Oh, it's the JF1. See, I know that they are intentionally trying to model the trains to be as close as possible, but man, if that train, the JF1 doesn't look like the FD class. We have good power, which means it can get up to the full 50 pretty quick, but can it? Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that and see if we can't make a little bit of money on the line that way. It unloaded planks up here so that this could have planks, and it's going to pick up planks from right here. But this sawmill doesn't have enough lumber going to it because these two trains are not sufficient. Alright, so we'll go ahead and ditch the... Yeah, we're going to replace these trains entirely with that plus that. And we're going to add in one more. And that'll hopefully speed up the trains. It doesn't really actually speed up the train at all. And that's my fault for not signaling correctly over here. That any train coming in needs to wait. And we're going to go ahead and manage these vehicles again, and we are going to swap out these train engines because they are not capable of the speed we wanted. So let's get them the more power so that they can run at maximum speed as long as possible. Alright, so hopefully we can load up 90 logs per trip and get them here pretty quickly. We might even want a fourth train on this route. Doing the full 53 mile an hour. Oh, we've got a couple of airplanes. We are not going to play around with airplanes at this time mostly because I don't think it's a good use of our money. We do have 68 million, but like I said, I still don't think it's a good use of our money to be playing with airports, because it's not only an issue of the cost of that one train, it's the fact that you need to have 2 airports. You have to have one on either side for it to be of any use. And that is just not something I'm interested in. We're also not that long from having our Shinkansen become available, so that's definitely something I would be more interested in setting up. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clone this vehicle one more time, because I think that will boost our ability to make the tools that we want. And our tools are only feeding into Tampa right now, but that's still something. We haven't set up the freight line down to Bellevue for tools yet, have we? No, we haven't. So we're going to work on that also. In fact, let's work on that next, because we've got the infrastructure in place. Not a fan of the fact that, you know, sometimes the street is too close and therefore you can't access it. And that's, I don't know, to me that just seems a little silly that you can't access the street because it's actually too convenient, too well laid out. Alright, so we're going to do a new line from Bellevue to Tampa, and this will be Bellevue, Tampa, tool train, not to be confused with the soul train. And then we were going to have a new line from this truck stop to, oh, where in Bellevue do we need the tools? Oh, actually right by the train station, so that's really helpful. We'll go ahead and do this drop off here, which kind of covers the whole city. And we'll call this Bellevue tool machine delivery, since it kind of covers both. We will need a road depot out here. Actually, I'm going to put it here because I don't want you guys to keep building towards the train station. And we'll put we'll just start with 2 of those on the Bellevue delivery line. And then we do have our train station up here that we can haul our boxcar because we were hauling tools. Oh, and I forgot to check. How many does Bellevue want? Bellevue wants 139. Yeesh. Okay. Well then, let's make sure we give them. Let's try to do all of it at once. And we're going to need to work on our signaling because we otherwise are going to be waiting a long time for that train to get approved. Uh-oh. Did we put the wrong type of cars on here? Yes, we did, and then we cloned it. Which is the last thing we want to do. We want to fix it. I put gondolas when I meant boxcars. Ay, 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 ay. So now hopefully the Tampa facility will start getting some, since we are connected and we do have the demand. Alright, so the factory does know Bellevue is on its route now, so it should start producing over into Bellevue. That's good. Alright, we're finally getting to the point where this train needs to be duplicated. So that we can bring some more planks over. Yeah, alright, here we go. This is good. Now we're starting to get somewhere. And here comes our tool train, which is able to carry 126 and is going to get 18 instead. Well, let's start with 18, I guess. Something's better than nothing. Our tool delivery, I think we need another vehicle. Because it's just stacking up over here. And our tram probably needs another vehicle. At least one more. Because we are now starting to get some traffic going. Oh, very good. This line is now working well. This is beautiful. Bellevue should have had its first delivery of tools, or is that train about 25? Train 25 is bringing its first delivery of tools. Bellevue tram. Sure, we'll replace those. How do I have this set up? Interesting. Oh, yeah, besides adding on the bigger tram, I think we need more trams because, yeah, we got a lot of people waiting. Wow, we might actually need even more trams. There are so many people who want to go around. We might want to set up, in fact, we're going to set up the second line, the counterclockwise line. And this is the Bellevue tram CCW. I wonder if I were to create a passenger stop here and a new street access here. No. That doesn't work because the tram cannot turn right from this entrance. It can only turn right at the very beginning here. I have to loop all the way around to pick up passengers here. So what I really need is a second station over here. Okay, well, unfortunately, that is one of the things that I have learned kind of the hard way playing this game, is that the specific layout of your stations, this is a really inefficient way of doing it. It really should be this kind of dead ending into it, and then you can build side entrances in and out. And so I will probably go around fixing these eventually, because this is a terrible design because you limit yourself to expanding in only one direction. But I've already done it, and I really don't feel like fixing it right now, so we're going to keep moving on. We have a lot of passengers waiting, which is wonderful. We have a lot of tools waiting, which is great as well. Yeah, see, the same thing. This tools truck is making this really funky roundabout approach to the city, and really doesn't need to do that. So yeah, I'm really dissatisfied with the way this station is laid out right now. But it's got a lot of passengers and it's got a lot of tools in it, so I don't want to monkey with it right at the moment. But now's as good a time as any. Alright, so we're going to blow this thing up. Yeah, I know. Everyone's going to freak out at me about not having our tram anymore. So what I'm going to do is actually set it up as 2 stations, I think. No, actually, this is small enough that I think we'll be okay with doing it with 1 station with cargo over here. And street access up here as well. All right, so short little run and short little run. We can always delete this if it becomes an issue. So, yeah, that's not where you need to go. You need to start here and go here. And then our trams are also very confused. Because after Broadway, we're gonna go here. And we can't connect because some of the roads are not tram roads for some reason. And then the other one, we have the same issue. We don't want to go through the old Bellevue West. We want to go through the new Bellevue West. And that's a really ugly way of setting up your terminals. Let's see if we can swap these and make them better. How does that look? Okay. It's not the end of the world, but I really would have appreciated if somebody were going to take the exit to the right here. Which they kind of can't do based on the way that these tracks lay out. So we'll just run with it as it is. This is still an improvement over what we had before. The only other thing we might do is a separate truck exit for right here, just to keep it out of the way of all these trams, but there's not that many right now, so I think we'll be okay. All right, what other line can we upgrade for our trains. Let's go with what's the most profitable. We have these, which we've already upgraded. That's the logs over here. The construction train has been upgraded. It's now doing 71. Passenger, passenger, passenger. Ah, Newport News grain line could be upgraded. Let's go take a look at that. Yeah, it definitely could be upgraded because you can see how much of a backlog there is. So right now we can transport 60 per. So let's double that and get ourselves a nice speedy train. Onto that line. Yeah, because there's 400 something grain waiting here. I mean, we're not even putting a dent in it. And that's the thing with food processing. It's 2 to 1. So we need double as much grain as we want food coming out of it. So dropping off, 100 and something per trip, still only getting us 50 food. Now, what kind of consumers do we have? We have only Newport News who's consuming right now, and they're actually at 100%, so they're not really interested in that much more food. But is anybody else interested in food? That's so weird. New Orleans, actually, what am I doing? You can look at the factory and look at the list. Nashville, New Orleans, and Washington. Well, New Orleans is way down there. Nashville is way over here, and it's currently not getting any food at all. So theoretically, we could run a train from Newport News. We've already got the line. We could set up a truck to bring it over here to the train station. From the train station, it could take it to Corpus Christi, then from Corpus Christi all the way down to Gilbert, Gilbert to Nashville. It's a boxcar, which is kind of that multi-use type vehicle, so theoretically it would be okay. I mean, Newport News, the other demand it wants is fuel oil, so it would run empty going back to Newport. And Corpus Christi is already getting bricks supply. Yep. But I think bricks are the other type of train. Yeah, it's the side stakes. This is a vehicle though that I am going to upgrade to this brand new beefy engine because it will be able to take advantage of that speed. So I think we're going to hold off on upping the food transportation idea. Just because the one train that's bringing stuff up from Gilbert to Corpus Christi right now can't even take advantage of filling the train on the return journey. Yeah. Okay. So before we end this episode, I'm going to go ahead and start laying track for the Corpus Christi to Independence, because Independence already has the line for the Shinkansen, or I'm sorry, the terminal. It's right here. And even though I highly doubt I'm going to be sending to Shinkansen, I'm going to go ahead and create the double track for now. Now, I want to go to Corpus Christi, which means I want to go east of Frisco, and then we'll just weave between these farms. So my goal right now is to target east of Frisco. Yes. And we may not even build the bridge yet because we may not build the bridge yet because we may not have access to the high-speed bridge. which if we don't have access to a high-speed bridge, I'm not going to build the bridge. It doesn't make any sense to do that right now. So let's see what type of bridge. If I build that, well, we do end up with 186 going up and over. The Russian TE class, we got our first diesel trains. So that's nice. Let's see. Well, that definitely blocks the waterway if we go that low. And if we go up high is when we lose the speed. Actually, we lose speed regardless. So, like I said, we're going to hold off on building the bridge. And we are going to bridge over both of these roads just to make our lives a little easier. So, let's start with the track down here. And we'll make it easier on ourselves by actually looking where we're going. I don't mind a tunnel, actually. Tunnels are pretty good about maintaining our speed, so I don't mind the tunnel. And I think we'll leave it here so that we can build our bridge that comes across at full speed. All right. Well, this has been kind of an optimization video as opposed to really any new line construction. We do have everything south connected. We have everything north connected. We're waiting to build our Shinkansen train. And we'll see. I think what we might do is we might try to put together a little bit of a goods, or I'm sorry, not necessarily goods, but just supplies type system down here in the southern half of the map so that we can start growing these towns, growing these cities a little bit faster. But that'll have to wait until our next episode. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Transport Fever 2 with CasualT Gaming. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. And then until next time, take care.